What's going on, YouTubers? Guddang775 back with another video. Today is my video review of the game Greedfall. Now, this game came out September 10th. I actually got to play it September 9th because it released for me digitally since I had it already preloaded on my Xbox One X. It released at 11 p.m. Monday night at 9 p.m. 11 p.m. Sorry, 9. When I say 9, and like I took Tuesday off and I played it straight through the morning. Okay, and when my wife and daughter got up, I cooked them breakfast, played a couple more hours, then I slept for about 3 or 4 hours, then I got back on and I jammed through it. I must have put like a good 12 hours, 11 to 12 hours from Monday to Tuesday, and I beat this game. I beat this game in 42 hours. Alright, I did not complete all the side quests. One really big one, and I think there's a few other side quests that I missed along the way. But for the most part, I think I got 90%. I think I got the best ending. Alright, because I managed to unite all the factions in this game. A fact that's easier said than done. Alright, it's not easy to unite all factions because each faction has their own wants and needs, and they're not gonna care if they're gonna piss off other factions. They don't care. Okay, and your character is basically a diplomat. You're there to keep the peace between everyone, and there are 5 factions. Like I said in the first impressions video that I made, I'll leave that in the link down below if you folks want to check that out. The about section, I mean. But yeah, there are 5 factions. I know I said there were like 3 major factions and a bunch of sub-factions. No, there are 5 factions in this game you need to worry about. One are the Knots, the folks that, you know, who run the huge ships to take you to the continent of Tier 4D. And 2, you got Teleme. Teleme is the bunch of religious fanatics, or, you know, it symbolizes, you know, how old school Catholic, you know, old school Christian, how what do you call that, vindictive and very brutal they could be by trying to push their religion on everyone. And number 3, you got, what do you call that, what's the third one, the Bridge Alliance, which is very, very reminiscent of something like the Ottoman Empire. You folks know what the Ottoman Empire? Go look it up on Google. I'm not going to explain history to you folks. It's too much. Alright? Number 4, you got the Congregation of Merchants. The Congregation of Merchants are the folks, what you call that, are those in charge of all the merchants and trade in the area. Hence why they have a big say on what to do about everything, and that's where your character comes from. She is the niece of the prince of the Congregation of Merchants, or something like that. Okay, and number 5, you got the Coin Guard. The Coin Guard are a huge mercenary unit that pretty much protect the Congregation of Merchants, especially your character, which is the delegate, or the legate, I should say, legate of the Congregation of Merchants, and the governor of the Congregation of Merchants, your cousin in the game. Alright, Constantine. So this game is pretty big. Alright, when I say pretty big, this game is divided into multiple huge semi-open world areas. When I say semi-open world, this game is not an open world game. Like, if this game was an open world game, you have 1 map or 2 or 3 or 4 maps. You have different maps, but you could traverse anywhere. There would be a jump button where you can jump over mountains, you know, picture Skyrim, okay? Skyrim, or even The Witcher, that's open world. I mean, you can go over hills and whatnot. This game, each open world section has set paths, okay? And set paths can only be accessed later when you level your character up, and that leads me into a nice segue of the your character classes and the character leveling. Now, there are 3 character classes in this game: the warrior class, the technician class, and the magician class. And each of those 3 classes, they have 3 more leveling trees in there. You have skills, you got your attributes, and you got your talents. The skills are like your fighting skills and whatnot, your combat skills. The attributes are your physical attributes, how strong you are, how athletic or agile you are, how smart you are, how powerful your magic is. And the talents, okay, sorry, intelligence has nothing to do with the like how smart you are has nothing to do with attributes. That's more like a That's in the talent section, where the talents you got science, lock picking, crafting. Let's see what else. Vigor. You can concentrate on vigor, because there's certain parts of the game that you can only access via having like a really good, strong vigor. You might have to ascend up like a sheer rock cliff. There are some parts in the game where it's like, oh, how am I gonna get up there? It's like flat. But if you level up your vigor all the way to level 3, you'll be able to get up there. Alright? Or there are certain parts where there'll be these what looks like loose rock, and if you got your science leveled up to at least level 1, you could bust through that with an explosive or the good old-fashioned lock picking. Okay, there's a ton of way to get through things, and there are always going to be alternate routes. Okay, and there is no mission you can't complete in this game, because there's an alternate route for everything. Like, and a lot of times, like, my character was a dummy. Okay, she was a dummy. I chose the warrior class to play through, and I did not get to level up the science and the science part of her toward the end of the game, so I had to take the long way around. And it's you choose the warrior class, you're gonna have to take the long way around majority of the time, okay? And you have to go fight. I mean, you're the warrior, you're gonna have to take on more challenges as the warrior. I'm playing it through again since I beat it. I'm playing through as the technician class, which is much easier. Okay, it's much easier. One you specialize in guns, and you got your sword and whatnot. It's fun. Like, the leveling system in this game is pretty deep. Okay, a lot of fans of good old RPGs are gonna love the leveling system. Okay, and like I said in my first impressions video about this game, I'll leave a link down below in the about section if folks want to go check that out. This game resembles Dragon's Age Origins, Witcher 2 Assassin of Kings, and a touch of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That, you know, that because there's the black powder gun combat, you know, the gun combat that's in there. It's very reminiscent, and the combat is very reminiscent to Assassin's Creed with touches of The Witcher. Okay, the combat and gameplay is very smooth. I think it's like 90% of what The Witcher is. Okay, it's almost there. Alright, Spider Studios, props to them, because they made a fantastic game. The gameplay, the combat, a huge semi-open world era, they totally knocked it out of the park. Much better step up from the past game that I played for them, Technomancer. You folks don't know what Technomancer is? It's kinda like a Mass Effect, but I'm totally reaching. Okay, Mass Effect's way better, but I'm totally reaching. But it kind of reminded me of that, sort of. But this is a nice step up from the game, from Technomancer, and they pretty much almost nailed the formula of Dragon's Age Origins, Witcher, and whatnot. Now, this game is not perfect. It has its flaws. Now, the graphics, they're alright, they're good, but there are quite a bit of screen tearing. Okay, especially if you're like running a lot, you're gonna run into screen tearing. I say I would run into a screen tear maybe once every hour or so. Maybe every couple of hours I see a screen tear here and there. And sometimes the graphics, like their textures of their face would get all wonky and stuff. Sometimes the camera angles would be all kind of messed up, especially during some cutscenes. Sometimes the camera angle would be totally focused in on something else while your character's talking. It's like it would be like focused on the wall and your character's talking. So there are a few bugs in this game, and they almost nailed it. They almost nailed the perfect Dragon's Age Origins. I say it's like 80-90% of the way there. Alright, and a lot of old school BioWare fans are gonna love this game regardless, but it still has its flaws. Okay, like I said, the gameplay, the huge semi-open worlds, the choice and consequence, the dialogues in this game is not bad. Okay, you have to do a lot of listening, because it doesn't really give you a good... I think there's a diary you can look at on what you're supposed to do, but once you press the button, the A button, especially me, sometimes I hit the skip button and I didn't hear what to do. I get confused, and you have to rely on the map. Okay? There's some parts where I got stuck because like, oh, what did they say? And I had to reload. Okay, so you have to be careful, and you have to save in this game. save a lot because you're gonna have to make a lot of choices. Alright? And another con of this game is where I feel like they concentrated too much on diplomacy. And a lot of the diplomacy is, it's like you're gonna piss off a faction no matter which side you choose. Even if you think it's the right side, someone's gonna get pissed off somewhere. But then again, there will be choices and ways to rectify that situation, and you'll be able to make everyone, what you call that, group, faction, your ally. Okay, I did that in the end. It wasn't easy, but I did that in the end. I got a special achievement for it, and I think only like 0.18 or 0.5% of people actually managed to do it on the Xbox system so far. When I looked at it, it wasn't easy. But for the most part, and one of my pet peeves in this game, all right, because they tell you like at the last second, like you're gonna do, like they expect you to do a certain quest, all right, and you think you got everything ready for the quest, and you go to the quest, and they tell you, oh wait, we need at least one more thing, and it's like, dude, I was just there. You're gonna make me go back there? Why didn't you mention that at the beginning? I would have saved time. But yeah, some parts in this game, a few pacing issues here and there. But regardless of all the cons, I feel the pros outweigh it. Okay, especially if you're old school BioWare fan, you're craving an RPG you want to play, choice and consequences. This game is awesome. Okay, it's gonna scratch that itch for you folks who wanting a good, decent RPG. Like I said, it's not perfect, but if I were to score this game, 1 being absolute garbage and 10 being the best thing ever since the day I was born, I have to give this game, Greedfall, a solid 8 out of 10. Marvelous. Fantastic job, Spider Studios. I know I mentioned a lot of cons, but a lot of those cons were put to bed by the awesome gameplay, the vast semi-open world to discover, and I love the choice and consequence, okay? And I love keeping the balance. And when you get that rare achievement at the end of beating the game, getting possibly the best ending, you hear that achievement sound on the Xbox One X, that diamond bell sound, ding! You know, it gives you that accomplishment. And I think the ending of the game, they did a thorough job of explaining what happens to every character or in every faction that you interact with at the end of the game. Okay, it's not very long. It's not a very long ending, but I think it's a thorough one. Some people will be kind of feel like it's anticlimactic and whatnot, but I can give you a hint of how the game's ending is like. Go back, if you folks played Fallout New Vegas, okay, like how it explained all the endings to all the factions and what happened to your character in Fallout New Vegas, this ending is the same way. And I think it did a wonderful job of explaining more, and I wish there was more to the ending. I wish there was more cutscenes, but I think it was still worth it. Let me know what you folks think about Greedfall. Solid 8 out of 10 in my opinion. Are you folks picking it up? Yay? Nay? Maybe? Let me know in the comments down below. I do appreciate any type of criticism whatsoever. So if it's Guddang775, you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification button as well. Look out for my videos for every few days. I do appreciate, again, any type of criticism. Guddang775, aka Sully. Peace out.